Gonna take your hat off.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I put it back on? Is my hair messy?
Yeah.
Is my beard long?
It's curly. Welcome.
Welcome.
Episode 33?
33.
33.
Yes.
Ultra RC Hobbies Show. I'm Aaron. He's Chris.
Yes.
We got it right this time. So today we have a special guest. So a local racer from the Sarkar organization, and he's coming tonight to talk about the Wix race. We kind of covered it a little bit at the end of episode 32. So what we are talking about is 10 scale and
12 scale.
112 scale on-road cars that run on carpet, and then there's a big race coming up. So this is going to be 14th, the next weekend. So the 19th, 20th, and 21st of October, and they'll be handling that race in Market Mall in the old Fabricland location.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really awesome site. So if you guys want to go check it out, it's free to watch, free to the public to watch. So go support that club. But Dennis is coming tonight to talk about some of his cars, the classes they'll be running, and a couple other things. So it's going to be a fun show, and then there's going to be some other stuff we're going to talk about as well. So let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is Dennis. Dennis has been racing for how long in the Sarkar Club?
Just over 4 years now.
4 years. So Dennis is going to talk a little bit about the Wix racing, a little bit about the Sarkar Club to get you a little bit more information if you wanted to start out in on-road racing. So Dennis, you brought some cars with you tonight. What did we all bring?
I have two 10-scale touring cars. They're four-wheel drive electric, 2S, so 7.4 volts, and a 12 scale, which is very small, very light, 730 grams, 1S, so 3.7 volts.
So quite a variety of cars. So as you've seen in the club and with the Wix racing, what is kind of the more popular class? Is it the 110 scale class, 112 scale class?
Definitely 110 scale touring stock, which is now 21.5 turn motors. And that's a spec class, so everybody has to run a 21.5 motor.
Keep it a little bit fair for everyone. Yep. I like that. So with these cars, what kind of entry do you get? Like how many people show up to this event?
For our Wix race, we'll probably get just over 100 entries. So there's probably maybe 45 drivers, and each driver is going to run 2 or 3 classes typically.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
People,
yeah. How many classes do you guys expect to run?
There'll be 7 official classes, I believe, and then 1 demo class. So if there's a class that we think might pick up popularity in the future, we'll try it.
Wow, very, very cool.
Yeah.
So we have some questions so people are a little bit familiar with you, and then we'll go into the Sarkar stuff and the Wix stuff a little bit more in depth. But how did you get started in racing?
Well, I used to race full-size cars. I did that for about, from 2000 until about 2014. And when I stopped racing full-size cars, I just felt the urge to keep tinkering and racing, so I got into RC cars, and it's been very fun.
It's a little bit different, and there's a lot of stuff, as Chris knows, with tuning these little RCs.
Yes, yeah.
It's like you can set camber, caster, toe, roll center, shock, spring rates. You can do how fast the shock shaft actually travels through the oil by changing viscosities, by changing pistons, hole diameter. Like it's absolutely insane. And all these cars are pretty easy to work on considering it's all super small hardware that you don't need any jacks or lifts or cranes to work on.
Yes, and transporting is much easier.
Yeah, take 3 cars to the track and not a trailer. So seems like a win to me.
Well, what we're going to talk about a little bit later is the Wix series, and there's 7 or 8 depending on how many cities are in that year. Throughout Western Canada that we travel to, so when you're taking multiple cars, it's definitely much easier to fit them all in a hauler bag than it is to have to haul a car trailer with a full-size car. So.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, so I have a couple questions to ask you about what you race personally. So all these cars, are they the same brand or are they different brands?
These are all the same brand. I'm sticking with VBC, and I was so happy with them that I actually approached VBC and asked for sponsorship, in which they accepted. So now I run their brand exclusively.
Hence the shirt.
Yes.
That's cool. So what is your favorite class to race in?
Favorite class lately has been touring modified because it's very fast and very intense.
Which would be this car right here.
Yeah.
So this car has a little bit different motor in it. It has a 7.5 turn, and this is all varied on the track size and the different layouts that they can have. Because you can run any sort of motor in there.
Any 540 size motor you can
Yeah. So you can go absolutely crazy if you want to. Where the one we showed with the tires on it, so this guy right here, as Dennis was saying, this has the 21.5 spec motor in it. So you can only run that size of 540 can motor, and you can't go anywhere else. So it kind of keeps you in the same playing field as everyone else and keeps it fair for people to start getting
No
into the
unfair
hobby.
advantages that way,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
And one thing they've done this year is they have, well, they just changed to 21.5, which is also the same motor that's used in USGT. So you can actually run this chassis in 2 classes. You can run it in USGT simply by changing your body and tires.
And that's probably not a super time consuming change, is it?
I timed myself doing it because I did run this car in both classes in Edmonton last weekend, and it took 59 seconds to swap over. So it was nice to be able to run 2 classes with only having to buy 1 car.
That works out quite well. Chris, do you have any questions for Dennis? I see you're just like staring at the car.
I just
so you
like
seem
to
like
Google.
super intrigued.
I'm just really into the on-road cars in general, but no, not really any major questions in particular. Just super impressive.
Well, it's something a little bit different. A lot of people know about the off-road racing, and not too many people know about on-road in Saskatoon. Our track it's pretty small and hidden in a basement in downtown Saskatoon. So we don't get that much exposure, so it's really nice to be able to come here, thanks Aaron,
You're welcome.
to be able to help promote on-road racing and SARCAR.
Yeah, I think that's the best part. Use the store as a hobby and bring everyone together through one store. So that's always the goal for what Chris and I want to do with the Facebook page, with the store in general. Always try to push local clubs and support the people that support you. So that's what we're all about. So talking a little bit more about the indoor track, where is it exactly located?
It is at 249 2nd Avenue South, I believe. Or is it east? How does that work?
I think that would be south, because it's a block away from Galaxy,
Right.
I think. 1 second.
Yeah, we have cards.
It's
Yeah,
someone find a
it's-
compass.
It's it's in a basement alley access. It's pretty much behind the Odeon Event Center, which I believe just changed to Coors Event Center.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct.
Is it east?
Yeah. South.
So
Yeah.
okay. We are open Wednesday evenings from 6 until 10 for practice, and we race on Sundays. Doors are at 10. We start racing at 11, and it typically goes to between 2 and 4, depending on how many people show up.
And then the same kind of classes, or do you just run one style of car versus multiple?
The most popular and common one locally is touring stock, but if anybody else shows up with other cars and wants to run them, we'll by all means make allowances for that.
Perfect. So you say lots of guys run multiple different classes. How many classes do you normally run on any given race weekend?
At big races, I will typically run 3. If it's a really big race, there's a lot more time between heats, and I might run 4 or 5. But typically 3. So I'll run touring stock, touring modified, and scale spec, or USGT, depending on where you go. It changes names. I do have this 12 scale. I only race it once in a while when I feel there's time to do it.
That's fair. So one thing I guess we really didn't talk about the local club here before we got kind of sidetracked. What are kind of some of the membership costs, or is there a membership, or is there a race day fee? How does that kind of structure work?
There's actually multiple ways of doing it. You can pay by the month. So a basic member fee would be $50 for the month, and you can race 4 weekends plus 4 practices. And that would normally cost you a lot more than $50. So if you think you're going to make the whole month, you can do that. Mm-hmm. If you want to drop in as a non-member, it's $15 for a race weekend, $5 for practice. If you are a member, I believe it's $40 for the year, and then race fees are now $10 for the weekend, and practice is free.
Wow, so that's not even that bad. That's a pretty cheap way to get into the hobby. I like it. So now that we kind of talked about the local club here, let's kind of get into and change gears and talk about that Wix race. So again, October 19th, 20th, and 21st in Market Mall in the old Fabricland location. So that race is a big race for, I know, the Saskatchewan guys. They put this on every year, and this is the 5th year now?
I believe so.
5th year now?
5th or 6th? I think.
Yeah, something like that. That they've been putting on this race. And I know it's a lot of work. You guys take carpet down there, you take chairs, tables, like the whole 9 yards, and get that set up. So I'd imagine that's a lot of work. But what kind of time can we see practice start? People can start showing up to come watch the event.
Well, this year's handy because we actually have access to start setting up on Thursday night. So we'll be open pretty early for practice. We're hoping probably noon or 2 o'clock to open on Friday for practice. So when out-of-towners start arriving, they can start cutting some laps at maybe noon or 2 o'clock. Friday will be all practice. There's probably going to be a drivers meeting on concourse later on. So we'll bring our bodies and put them online, and there's prizes for that. Saturday and Sunday is racing. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's qualifying all day Saturday. Doors are at 7. We'll probably start qualifying rounds at 9 or 9:30. And it should go till about 4:30ish, depending on how many people show up again. Then there's triple mains for all of the classes on Sunday.
Wow.
So that's probably going to start again, doors at 7, racing at 9. And should go till about 4:30, and hopefully be done in time for out-of-towners to get back on the road.
So that's a action-packed weekend, full of racing.
It's busy with 7 classes, and typically touring stock's probably going to have 4 or 5 heats because we can put 8 or 10 people on the track at a time. So there's some classes that are very full, and there'll be many heats of the same class.
Wow, that's impressive. So with that, the WIC series, like I said, again, it's free for anybody that wants to just go spectate, go check it out. We will have a listing down below for the Star Car Club. So if you want to check out their website, check out their Facebook page, and see if you want to get more information on that. Was there anything you want to add, Chris?
No. I've just, the biggest thing I noticed in these cars is they do have the locked front diffs. That was the neatest thing I saw. So instead of like on our drift cars, we have a locked rear end, it's the front end that you want to pull all the time, so it remains locked all the time. So that's a pretty neat feature.
That is interesting. I have an old touring car that I no longer run, and I converted it to drift, so I ended up doing that. I swapped the diff and the spool around, and now it's a drift car.
Yeah, I like it. I guess one other question I had, just as kind of an outsider looking in, what kind of carpet do you run on? Is it a special kind of carpet, or is it just like something you can just go buy at like any hardware store?
It is special. It is made for RC car racing, and it's very high traction. You can actually generate so much grip on it that the cars will traction roll unless you set your cars up properly. Even the 12 scale, like I like to show it because it's so low if you look at it, and the center of gravity is so low yet, it will grip roll from so much traction.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
So much grip.
Okay, is there anything we missed that you want to add about the race weekend, the local Star Car Club, or just these awesome cars in general?
Well, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people don't know about it, so if it looks like something interesting to you, definitely come out and give it a try. The website is starcarclub.com, and there's business cards here at Ultra if you wanted to stop in. Aaron has parts for on-road cars, bodies, tires, and what he doesn't have you can get. So it's definitely a different alternative to off-road. A lot of people will run off-road in the summer and on-road in the winter because it's, indoors and we run all winter. So.
Yeah. I could definitely tell these cars stay a lot cleaner than our off-road cars.
Yeah. You get a little bit of carpet fibers on them, you blow them off the compressed air, and that's all you really ever have to do to them.
Well, that's not bad. Well, thank you again, Dennis, for coming and giving us some more information about the upcoming race, the Star Car Club, and giving us some information about the cars. We really appreciate it.
For sure, and I appreciate you having me.
And thank you. So that was some info on the Star Car Club and the Wix race. So the website again to the Star Car Club, we'll have it www.sarcarclub.com.
Easy enough to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So you weren't very talkative. So
no, I was just busy like oogling the cars because I really like on-road cars and just the way they're built.
There's a lot of carbon fiber on those cars.
And just the fine tuning of adjustments on the cars is just super, like, makes me giddy.
Yeah, so if you don't know by this point in the show, Chris is actually a journeyman mechanic, and he works on full-size cars, and he loves playing around with his toys, tinkering with them, tuning them. So it's just one of those things. He gets super excited. But anyway, that was the end of episode 33.
Yeah.
So I know it wasn't quite action-packed like all the other ones are. But we're going to get some footage from that Star Car race. We're going to get some footage of the new indoor off-road track coming up here pretty quick. So you just kind of got to bear with us. We're in kind of a lull between summer and all the winter stuff starting. So you got to bear with us for another 2 weeks.
Everything's prepping.
Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks is what we need. 2 weeks. And we'll have some more racing and other content coming up. If you didn't check out the Rustler 4x4 unboxing video on YouTube, go check out that video. It should be the previous video to that. We posted that on Sunday. So go check that out if you haven't already seen it. Anything else?
Make sure you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We're almost at 100 subscribers. We're at 97, hit 97 today. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. We want to see over 100 for episode 34. That's the challenge on this video. So like, comment, and subscribe. Like
Get your friends to like.
Yeah. Make sure you share it on Facebook as well, so your
Make
friends
sure your grandma
see.
likes it.
Yeah, my grandma likes it.
My grandma doesn't like it. She laughs at me.
He's not very nice. His grandma's actually a really nice
My
person.
grandma's nice.
I mean, she's a nice person though. But yeah, make sure you share it with all your friends, and don't forget to tune in to us next week,
Same time.
Friday, 7
7
o'clock.
o'clock.
And don't forget to like us on Instagram and Snapchat, all Charcy Hobbies. So thank you again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.